Jack Krauser, the Resident Evil character best known for having one arm much bigger than the other. In the remake, he decided to avoid any potential comments by making sure both arms were the same size this time. Last year, I uploaded a fun little video where I decided to find out if Krauser could defeat every boss enemy in Resident Evil 4 using his arm. After the release of the remake, one of my friends suggested remaking that video as well. So, in this video, I'll be using my magic to play as Krauser in the main campaign where I can face off against all the bosses and mini-bosses to see if Krauser's amazing arms can conquer them all. As many of the mini-bosses appear in the Mercenaries mode, we'll start with them. First up is our favourite chainsaw fanatic, Dr. Salvador. The two in the first village are powerless against Krauser, which is to be expected from Mercenaries. This goes double for the Bea sisters.
I get flattered. I'm a one-lady type of guy.
The three different brute variations also fall quickly to Krauser's attacks. The Garradores in the campaign proved to be far more resilient than in Mercenaries, as the only way to effectively damage them is by hitting their plaga, which sometimes is easier said than done. Next up are the harder normal enemies. These include rare enemies like the Armaduras, Regenerators, and the unique Merchant Quest enemies. First on the list is the Black Dog in the village. It may be quick, but its speed won't save it.
Target neutralized.
The medieval armor of the Armaduras may stop a sword in its tracks, but it wasn't designed to deal with Krauser. The Golden Knight doesn't fare much better. The Regenerators are among the creepiest enemies in the Resident Evil franchise, but Krauser doesn't need a thermal scope to destroy them.
What the fuck are you?
Not even the Iron Maiden in the lab was able to survive for long. As for bosses, Del Lago and the first encounter with the armoured Gigante cannot be passed using Krauser's arms for obvious reasons. So we start with the first Gigante in an unfair fight, as we know the good doggo is far too strong.
God damn, you're a big boy. That dog. Want help? 'Cause I could use it.
The double Gigantes in the mines are a more interesting fight. The regular Gigante dies very quickly to Krauser's attacks, but the armoured variant cannot be defeated this way. The only way to inflict damage on this enemy is by hitting his Plaga, and Krauser unfortunately is just not that tall. As for Mendes, in his human form he's invincible, so there's not much Krauser can do except for stunning him once. During the fight in the barn, he may have stood a chance had he remained out of reach, but his desire to get up close and personal cost him dearly.
Didn't know you were one of How dare you disobey his will? Back at ya!
Arguably the hardest boss in both versions of Resident Evil 4, Verdugo can put up a much better fight here than he did in the original game.
You're Ramon's lapdog.
But what about Pisanta? Considering this other Verdugo turns into the Remake's version of the U3, one would expect her to be much tougher. The first fights are more gimmick based, so Krauser wins easily. Once transformed, Pisanta doesn't last long. She should have stayed hidden underground. Salazar is much more maneuverable than in the original, making this boss fight harder normally, but ironically, much easier for Krauser. As the game states, Martinico is impervious to all player attacks. Krauser found this out the hard way. The final boss, Sadler. In his human form, he's no match for Krauser.
Wayward lamb, servant of the heretic wolf. This will be your trial and tribulation.
In his transformed state, he can prove extremely dangerous in close range, even for Krauser. However, all the attacks eventually wear him down. rest of the fight must be played at a distance, but not to worry. Remember, the rocket launcher belonged to Krauser anyway. Of course, the greatest enemy one can face is one's own dark reflection. So how does Krauser fare against Krauser? Who will win, Krauser or Krauser? Krauser's first fight forces the knife to be used, so it's only once we're on the island can Krauser use his arms to beat himself up.
Making mistakes.
Not falling for your mind. You're really doing this? It's not too late.
You and me are two sides of the same coin. Bring it, rookie! Are you ready?
Let's settle this.
I'm not surprised. It's not bad. I didn't expect anything. After all.
And that's the video. I want to take this moment to apologise for the lack of activity on the channel. Life has, unfortunately, been getting in the way a lot, and my sleeping pattern now resembles a Rubik's Cube. However, I'm doing my best to get everything organised so I can continue uploading frequent and interesting content for you all. So, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment, as it really helps me in the algorithm. If you really enjoyed the video and want to see more content like it, consider subscribing. Before I go, I want to thank my Corgi Squad, BSAA and STARS members: Chemistry 19, Silent Chaos, The Shadowed One, Dietrich Racht, Madman's 007, Players Purity, Saul, and Jojo Brunier. Along with my top channel supporters: Hilo Hugo, I Am Luke65, Johann Schmermund, Melissa Zietz, Secutor Libertatum, US Marine Corps Win TRW, and Viviana G. Without your generous support, I wouldn't be able to continue bringing you such frequent content. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.